The Class 4A Division I state championship right here at AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, matched up San Antonio Brennan, a perfect 15-0 against the Denton Guyer Wildcat football team trying to make it back-to-back state championships. Let's go to the highlights. Brennan in the title game for the first time in just their 4th year of existence, while Guyer looked to repeat as Class 4A Division I champions and honored teammate Nate Mackey, who died earlier in the summer.
When it happened, we knew what he wanted us to do. You know, it was just not just to sit around and be sad about it, but just, just go make a statement and win it for him.
Brennan faced only one team in the regular season with a winning record, and no one close to the talent of Guyer, but the Bears defense made an early statement with a quick 3-and-out on the opening Wildcat possession. Guyer forced a punt, but Brennan commits a terrible mistake that gave the Wildcats the football right back. Bears' Jalen Collier decided not to field the ball, and he lets it bounce, but he cannot get out of the way of the ball, and it hits him. It is eventually recovered by Remington Reed at the Brennan 45. Wildcats love to take advantage of opponent mistakes, and they did on this one. Guyer went 3 for 3 on third down conversions on this drive. The second was a 14-yard run by quarterback Jerrod on 3rd and 4 down to the Brennan 10. After a penalty, Guyer nearly gave the ball up on a Hurd fumble as he missed the handoff, but he was able to recover it at the 14. The very next play was a historic moment. Hurd finds David Haynes in the back of the end zone for a touchdown and a 7-0 Guyer lead after one. The historical significance? Well, it was the first time all year Brennan trailed in any game.
Give my coaches credit. They had great game plans. We ran away from their strengths and just tried to be patient. But they haven't been behind, so it was real important to get up on them and stay up on them and make them press. But I give them credit. They stuck with what they do, too. They did a good job over there. We just we had some breaks, and we punched it in the end zone.
A big key to the early lead was that Guyer outgained Brennan 97-31 in the first quarter. Teams exchanged punts into the second quarter, with Brennan's offense finally able to get going. 4 Deshaun Key rushes moved the ball 16 yards to the 45-yard line. Then Key found Nathaniel Wells Jr. behind the secondary. This catch and run went for 47 yards down to the Guyer 8. 2nd and goal from the 11, and Key unlocks the Wildcats defense as he scampers home for the touchdown, and a tied ball game at 7 with 7 minutes left in the first half. From a high angle, you can see the blocks put on at the line of scrimmage by Brennan wide receivers Daniel Gonzalez and Zach Simons. After that, it's just Key's speed that gets him into the scoring zone. Brennan's defense needed a stop before halftime, but did not get it. 3rd down and 2 for Guyer at their own 38. TJ Breedlove feeling no love as he got stopped after a 1-yard gain. So it was 4th and 1 at the 39. Punting time for Guyer, right? No. John Walsh pulls a Bill Belichick and goes for it. Gutsy call, because if they don't get it, the Bears, who average 55 points a game, would get the ball with a short field. Out of the shotgun formation, Hurd hands it off to Anthony Taylor, who just barely gets the first down, but he does move the sticks, and the move pays off. 5 plays later, Guyer facing 4th and 5 at the Brennan 35. Another chance for the Bears to get off the field. Guyer goes for it on 4th down. I said Guyer goes for it on 4th down and pass on a 52-yard field goal attempt. This time, Hurd makes the big play with a 35-yard run all the way down to the Brennan 5, stepping out of bounds before he could score. Replay from up high shows how the play developed. Watch as the play action fakes number 10, Anthony Taylor, fools number 94, Derek Robertson, who's headed to the University of Texas. Along with 3 more Bears at the line of scrimmage, this allowed Hurd the room he needed to convert the 4th down and put Guyer on the doorstep of the end zone.
Everything y'all see on the football field, he's that guy off the field. He's great. Our program's going to miss him. Denton's going to miss him. God's blessed him a little bit, and he's worked extremely hard to make those talents a lot better. And he's got a belief that we're going to win. He knows first downs equal touchdowns, and that's what he does. 1st and goal, Hurd can't find anyone open. Instead of risking a Matthew Stafford-esque interception, he decided to call his own number without a smartphone, hops and skips into the end zone. From up high, you can see him roll out to the right, no one open with pressure, so he rolls back left, gets one guy to miss, and all he sees in front of him is the Dallas Cowboys star helmet in the end zone.
Offensive line. I knew they was going to make that right block, and I just had to follow my guy and get that first down.
2 fourth-down conversions, and all the guts Walsh had on the drive pays off with a touchdown and a 14-7 lead at recess. Only the second time an opponent scored more than 7 points on Brennan all year. The Guyer mascot liked knowing that the Wildcat defense held Brennan 3 and out on the opening possession, then ran off a 12-play, 73-yard drive that took nearly 7 minutes off the clock. The biggest play of the drive was another fourth-down conversion, one that Walsh didn't even go for. 4th and 4 at their own 30, Guyer punts it away, but a flag thrown on the play. Here's referee Rocky Marcinell with the penalty call. Brennan's Joshua Luna was called offsides. The drive ended with a 20-yard field goal by Brad Grems and a 17-7 Guyer lead with 3:19 left in the third quarter. Although it was only 3 points, the penalty and the long drive were backbreakers for the Bears.
Stopped them early, 3 and out, and then we fumble the punt. They go score. We jump off sides. We got them stopped. They go score. I mean, you can't do that against a championship opponent. I always tell the guys, when you get in such a big game, usually it's your mistakes that hurt you, and whoever makes the most comes out on the bottom. I think we made definitely more than them.
Brennan mounted a drive late in the third, which included a double flea flicker that ended back in quarterback Deshaun Key's hands, and he threw it to Daniel Gonzalez. Key threw for 54 yards on the drive with 17 on this play alone. Later in the drive, Key went to the ground and ran this play 23 yards all the way down to the Wildcat 2. But it would not stand. Nicholas Brown called for the hold, and it was a critical penalty as the drive stalled early in the fourth. Facing a 4th and 8 at the Guyer 23, Brennan coach Stephen Basor sends out Ethan Valdez to try a 40-yard field goal that would make it a 1-score game again. But he pulls it wide left, and the nearly 5-minute drive goes for naught. The holding penalty severely hurt Brennan on that drive. Guyer went back to work to put the Bears away on the back of Anthony Taylor, who ran 6 times for 20 yards and drew a 15-yard face mask penalty too. Basor not happy with the officiating. Jerrod ran 3 times for 37 yards, the last 28 on this touchdown run off a busted play to make it 24-7, which all but sealed up the game. In fact, Guyer held the ball for nearly 10 of the 12 minutes in the fourth quarter to not allow Brennan much of a chance to come back. The final capper on the contest with under 3 minutes left when DJ Breedlove scored from 33 yards out to cap the scoring. Guyer fans and players celebrating the state title and honoring Nate Mackey's memory with a 31-14 win, by far the fewest points Brennan had scored all season. Brennan's high-octane attack was held to less than 300 yards of total offense. Jerrod outrushed Deshaun Key 159-127 as Guyer held a 2-1 time of possession edge, but penalties were the story as Brennan committed 8 for 64 yards. Several were drive killers for them and drive savers for the Wildcats. But teammates were quick to point out that this title was for Nate Mackey.
It's what drove us, you know what I mean? It gave us our heart because every time we came back, we were doing it for Nate. I mean, Nate embodied what Guyer is. He was a great friend of mine, man. Nate, we won it for Nate and Nate's family and everything.
It feels good. We didn't let him down, and we just did what he wanted to do, and we wanted, I don't know, it just feels nice.
Both of them are special. No one's special than the other. Denton always shows up. That's not a worry for us. We know when there's big ball games, crowds are going to be big. Denton likes football. Feel great, and we've been here quite a bit, fortunately, but to finish on top in this stadium, out of the weather elements, is extra special.
This program, I can't say enough about the coaches. The coaches, they're great men. They're the hardest workers I've ever met. I mean, they do everything for us, and they had a great scheme for this game. They had a great scheme all year. It's great winning back-to-back. We did what we had to do. State champs twice in a row.
We'll be back. We'll come back strong. We got a good team coming back, and I couldn't be more proud of the seniors and everything that they've accomplished. We'll go home, you know, a little sore and a little sad, but we'll come back next year and got a lot of kids back, and you know, we got real high expectations, and we're gonna, you know, be the best we can be next year, and hopefully learn from this.
I'm just happy that, you know, it finished how I did. Very excited, you know, the way my guys, you know, having this great round, and for the seniors mainly, and also for Nate Mackey. We did it mostly for Nate Mackey.
Once again, your final score, 31-14. Denton Guyer defeats San Antonio Brennan. For Guyer, it's back-to-back state championships, and that's 2 in a row for their star quarterback, Jerrod Hurd, who's now headed to the University of Texas. Here at AT&T Stadium, I'm Jeff Power for Max Prep Sports, your leader in online high school sports content.